My 2008 Harley-Davidson Rocker C custom build. Phase 1 was completed in 2013. I love stuff with wheels and I'm not stuck on specific brands. My bike history proves that. I've had Yamahas and Hondas and Kawasaki's and Suzuki's and Triumphs and Ducatis and Harleys. I like them. I bought my first street bike in 1980, and after a lifetime of riding and modifying motorcycles, I decided to sell my Corvette and dump all that money into my first Harley. The following outlines some of that journey. I bought a Rocker C because I liked that it came from the factory with a wide rear tire and a bit of a brake. When I rode it, I knew it was going to be the next project I would do. Right off the bat, I did this mock-up in Photoshop so everybody involved would have an idea of where I wanted to go. Okay, for the gear heads, this thing has a Screamin' Eagle Stage 3, 103 heads with 103 pistons, 570 cams, Stage 2 EFI, Pro Super Tuner, Screamin' Eagle High Flow air intake. It's got the compression release kit and Vance & Hines short shot. So for looks, wheels and tires are the first things I ordered. I went with Performance Machine gassers and Avon Cobra Venom tires. I knew I didn't like the fenders on the bike, and we started with a half circle and we cut it up and made it match the mock-up that I did in Photoshop. After the extensive body and paint just to prep that Todd Hollis did, Kerry Elwood came in and started working on the flames, and I was blessed to sit right behind him and tell him what I wanted added and where and how to put some of the shading, and that's how it turned out. Well, I had preferred to not run fenders. When I see these photos, it just reminds me of how cool they look when you don't run them, but I knew I needed to have something on there just for debris and things that happen. So I took a stock rear, cut it up, and basically molded it to that mock-up again. And we had to work a lot of it to work the rear light in, and it's a good thing we had all that stuff up front. But I think the end result turned out pretty cool, looked mean. Wanted an integrated light in the back with the signals, and Kerry did a great job again with the fenders. We painted all the stuff at the same time, so all the flames went on at the same time before they went back to Todd for clear coat. Just added stuff as we needed to, and the finished product I think turned out pretty cool. Everybody knows the tank is a centerpiece for your bike, so I wanted to spend extra time on that to make sure it was dialed. And I knew I wanted the true flame look underneath. I wanted the classic flame over with a transparent look with the beveled and drop shadows, all the stuff that was going to give it a lot of detail, so when people looked really close at it, that they would see a lot of effort went into it and that it turned out really cool. Again, I got to actually tape out the classic flames. Took, I don't know, probably 3 hours for me to do because I'm a novice at that kind of thing. But I knew what I wanted, so taped that out. And then Kerry came back, finished tweaking my little tape job, taped it the rest of the way off, and went off to Paint City on it. And again, he would sit there and let me specify exactly how much highlight I wanted and where I wanted drop shadows. And we spent a lot of time with it, but again, I really think it turned out well. When it came to the console, I really vacillated with whether to go with some kind of a different design with it or what to do. And in the end, I just decided to go ahead and do the flame setup, make it match everything else, and that way it just didn't interrupt the flow that we were doing with the rest of the bike. During the project, I was ordering parts all over the U.S., and really the photos that are going to follow show the results of that. You know, you see the peg change outs, the grips, basically everything I could get my hands on in aftermarket is what I was looking for. So the things that I thought really made it turn out cool were a lot of the Harley stuff that came. A Harley LED headlight, and the tack and that stuff. It doesn't come stock with it, so I wanted it and knew it would make the bike cool. Right down to linkages, the belt guard, all that kind of stuff, the wheel covers and such on the back, with the 105th cover on the side, which 105th is kind of lame, but whatever. It is 105th edition, so I went ahead and put that thing on the side, and it actually looked cool. So the LED lights actually turned out really cool on it. We did a lighting underneath it, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. On the way to the first show, I was driving by the Capitol and noticed that they had the fountain on in front of it, so pulled over and took this shot, and they turned out pretty cool. It was with my brother, who's got a Harley as well, and it was a fun little experience while we were going. Directly before the show started, they had a parade thing through Kaiser, so we went ahead and lined up for that, and then went down. This is the presentations that happened for Good Vibrations 2013, which was the last Good Vibrations that they did in Oregon, and the bike won Best in Show, so that was a nice achievement for it right off the bat. Phase 2 of the project was about a few things. First, I wanted to take care of the seat. I knew that there would be a better seat option out there for cool, and this was one of the first things I went with, which was I can't remember the name of it, but actually I think it was kind of crude. And this thing was a really hard seat, and it was like, okay, it's gonna look good though. This is obviously what I put on first. It's the Danny Gray butt crack seat, and it really plants you firm in the bike, and it looks nice. So that was an easy option to go with right off the bat. I really liked having that seat on there. And then this is what I wound up actually going with. I started with an R bobber kit, and then had Danny Gray make this seat custom for me. That's cowhide and gator hide on the back trim there. And then I had them put that flame in the center of the seat. I think it turned out pretty cool. Phase 2 also included the lights that we did. We did custom lighting around the whole thing. I had Jonathan come out from Lux Lighting. It was about 6 days of mods to get what we did to it, but did a pretty thorough job on getting lighting all the way around on this thing. You're looking at a random light mode that it's in. you can look at the websites to actually see what they are, but this is my Harley rocker, Vance & Hines Screaming Eagle 103 setup. This is a Ducati Diavolo Competition Works exhaust. So let's give this a try and see what comes of it. The first annual Oregon Motorcycle Expo was held in 2015, and so I thought I'd go ahead and bring the Diavolo down there and fulfill some obligations to some sponsors that had helped me out on the bike. And when I talked to the promoters, who are the same promoters that do the Portland Roadster Show, they had seen the websites and some of the videos, and they really wanted me to bring the Harley as well, so I brought the Harley and the Ducati both down. I spent a lot of time, a lot of money doing those signs that you're seeing there. I did individual signs for each of the bikes. Also did the little chain display there. I wound up putting that together. Decals on the whole trailer set up there. Wanted to show the movie there, so I got a swivel mount and I mounted it to the trailer, so I had everything playing while we were at the expo, and it did really good. I didn't mention it here in this part of the video, but the display won for best display, which was pretty cool because the guys at National Guard had a pretty cool display with their trailer alone was pretty outstanding. This was the flyer that came for it. There was the 2 bikes loaded up. I wound up having to have a guy come over and help me get that set up because I was in California when that was done. There was the view, me sitting there watching those guys back in the trailer. It looked pretty cool. And the bikes all did good. Both won their classes, and the Harley won Best in Show, which was pretty cool.